Before you click off this video because of my A voice or rage comment, don't worry. I will read every comment, just watch the full video and hear me out. And yes, I made this script. This script is not AI generated. You may agree or disagree with my opinion, it's up to you. So growing up watching cable TV, we didn't get to choose what we watch like we do now. Because of that, I mostly grew up with Dragon Ball Z, Digimon, Pokemon, and before TV era died, I watched some of Naruto on TV. Once streaming was a thing, I kind of forgot about the anime and watched movies and other shows. Until one day I realized, wait, I can watch the animes that I always wanted to watch now, not just Dragon Ball Z reruns. And I decided to start small with Death Note, Full Metal Alchemist, and slowly I went for the big three and finished Naruto and Bleach. But there was always one show that I always thought about but never really wanted to watch. It was Boku no Pico. I am kidding. We all love that show. I meant One Piece. There was two reasons that after I started streaming anime for 10 years, I never thought of watching One Piece. First, the pirate theme. I know pirates are really popular, but for me, pirates are just thieves on the sea. What's so cool about them? And second problem was the huge numbers of episodes. So I really wanted to die without watching One Piece. Well, until one day I started to talk with my friends and I noticed all of them watched One Piece except me. It's like whoever I asked, they already watched One Piece, and more than that, they love One Piece. Then I thought to myself, am I really missing out on something really big here? Is One Piece really something grand that I need to experience to understand it's not just huge amount of episodes, but its huge fan base? Then I also find the anti-One Piece group. Yes, they exist who hates One Piece, and I really wanted to be one of them. But I realized something about this anti-One Piece group. They hate One Piece, but they never watched it. So if you ask them why they hate it, they will just say stuff like, it's not worth watching stuff like those. But can you really hate something without knowing about it first? It's like me saying Taylor Swift sucks without even hearing any of her songs. So I decided I am not gonna blindly say One Piece sucks, and that's why I don't watch it. I will watch One Piece and I will find out for myself if it sucks or not. So I think when I started, the Wano arc just started, and it took me like 4 years to finally finish Wano arc. I know more episodes are coming, I am watching that, but I just want to keep this video to Wano arc because I think that's enough episodes to judge an anime. Over 1,000 episodes are not less. And D, after watching and finishing Wano arc, I felt like I think I got scammed. Because at the end, I think One Piece do suck. And I don't know if the manga is any different, but I will talk about anime only here, so manga readers don't bother to comment. I won't argue with you guys. There are many reasons I am saying, and if you stick around, maybe you will see where I am coming from. Most shows after Dragon Ball Z like Naruto, Bleach animes like these tried to get rid of the problems of Dragon Ball and improved on the storytelling, the characterization, everything was better. But One Piece is like, it keeps the same problem Dragon Ball had. Just for your information, I am a big Dragon Ball fan. But I still do admit Dragon Ball wasn't perfect. It wasn't good as what came after. Instead of going from arc to arc, if I do that, we will be here all night. I will just point out few things from the Wano arc, because I think Wano arc is kinda longest and best arc yet. So criticizing it will give a general idea of whole show. The first problem is the pacing. I don't know how the pacing is in the manga, but in the anime it's horrible. I don't know if the Wano arc was going on the same time as the Wano arc happening in the manga. That could be a reason. But it didn't felt like Wano arc had much padding or filler. It felt more refined than most arcs. Every episode did felt like part of the story moving the plot forward. Still, I feel like the plot didn't need to be 197 episodes. I'm pretty sure it could have been done in 100 or less. You might say it's for the world building and character building. Well, that's the problem when I don't find those things interesting. Entire story becomes painful to sit through. And you might say, I feel that because I already had negative views about One Piece. Let me tell you a little story. There was a show called Gintama, and all I knew it was comedy show. Someone suggested me and I was like, nah, anime. Comedy is not for me, they are weird and stuff. Once I run out of shows to watch and I was scrolling through, first season of Gintama came up and I was like, let's see where this goes. I don't have to watch after the first season if it's shitty. And damn, it was the best choice. Because Gintama is one of my favorite now. Anyways, back to One Piece. So it's not like I want to hate One Piece, I wanted to watch One Piece. That's why I went through every episode and didn't even skip anything. The humor of One Piece wasn't bad, it was cliche jokes, but it worked. But I never felt like I wanted to watch the next episode to find out what happens next. It's like, I don't know if I even care about these characters. You may say, but the story of Wano and Oden was so tragic. To be honest, I don't think Oda doesn't know how to make good stories. Because there was some backstories that really impressed me, like Nami and Chopper. The backstory about the Nolan the Liar. Those stories really connect me with those characters. Even though Nami is my least favorite character, her backstory is still one of the best stories from the show. So it isn't like Oda doesn't know how to write a good story. I just feel like it's not for me. It feels too convoluted that didn't had to be. There are like 100 subplots happening that I don't even care about. And to prove my point, I want to talk about the live-action One Piece Season 1. It was a condensed version of the first season, and I really enjoyed it more than the anime episodes. And that's exactly how the anime should have been. For example, the first time they encounter Buggy, there was an entire episode about a dog. For many people, I am sure that's a touching story. I don't hate dogs. I love Chopper. I know he's a reindeer. But in the live action, they cut that part out, which I think was a great choice, because I really just wanted Watch Buggy, not the dog. So you may say we need this subplot to build those other characters. Well, I don't think we need so much characters that we spend time with every one of them. For example, during the final fights of Wano, there was mainly 4 battles: Kaido, Big Mom, Queen, and King, but there was other things happening that I didn't felt entertaining. It just made the experience more painful, as they would just cut from these fights to focus on a character that may be going to play a vital role in the future, but for now, taking too much screen time. They always use the Dragon Ball Z method, where you obviously know Luffy will be out of the fight until the main boss. But you are here for the main boss fight. The thing is, Bleach and Naruto also does this, but they do it so efficiently. Bit of spoilers of Bleach incoming. Even though during the Arrancar arc they had an hierarchy, you always find it entertaining to see who fights who. Like Ichigo, big fight was with number 4, not with number 1. It made it more interesting. It's not like One Piece doesn't have characters like that. One Piece does, and this is actually my favorite part about the One Piece, the Marine, and the Admirals. I know they are part of even a bigger plot, but here is the thing. Naruto didn't have Madara in just first episode. They built up Madara before that. They had Pain, which really felt like end of the show. The Pain battle was so intense. So the journey was also full of life and thrills that you wanted to know what will happen next. Where in this show you are like, they will go to the next island, defeat the next boss, get one more clue for the One Piece, then repeat. You already know the formula. Until the final battle, that's the only reason I am still watching, because I still have high hopes that Oda might give a grand landing. Because he wasted such a long time, so I am hoping his final battle would be that much more larger. Not just some battle where I already know Luffy gonna keep punching his enemy until he wins. There will be some plots between, but the point is Luffy punching more. And one more thing I want to point out, which I noticed, like when a villain shoots a gun at a minor useless character, it pierces through, and that character dies. But if the same gun is shot to a main character, it just give a flesh wound. Like what? It's even before they knew haki and stuff. And the fights are not even that interesting, sadly. I just don't know why. As I said, only time I feel a fight is exciting when the Admiral is involved. I don't know, One Piece fights feel too cartoonish when fights are a vital part of the show because it is an action anime. Anyways, I want to leave a hopeful note that maybe One Piece will impress me with its ending. The video is already too long, and I didn't even get to talk about a lot more stuff. If you guys want to get more angry, I can make a part 2 of this video. But until then, One Piece still sucks.
Thanks for watching. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Quirky Critic signing out.